What's up guys, how you all doing? Adam here and I am back for another video. And it's only been a week. It's an absolute miracle, I know. Now, for those of you that follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen some of the stuff that I've been up to recently. In fact, you'll have seen pretty much everything that's going on in my life right now because I do seem to put it all on my stories. If you don't follow me on Instagram, hit the link down below and give me a follow. Now, I've changed some major components of my beloved setup, my beloved home office, over the last couple of weeks. Those of you that do follow me on Instagram, you would have seen it. Those of you that haven't, I'm going to talk about it in this video. And loads of you on Twitter and also Instagram have been asking me what exact details there are that I can tell, and I've been telling everybody, which I don't usually do. Wait for the video and I'll tell you in the video. So this is the big reveal. Now, for a long time I've been running a Mac Mini with two external GPUs. It's all in my previous room tour. If you haven't seen it, I'll leave a link in the video description down below. Now, that tiny little Mac Mini, although it was the kind of high spec one, for it to run 6 4K screens on dual eGPUs and all of the terabytes and terabytes of storage and whatnot that I've got inside my NAS cupboard over there, I think is an absolute miracle. And the value for money, the return on investment that I had out of that Mac Mini has been incredible. It worked well, but it was always just slightly lacking. It just needed that little bit more oomph. And when the Mac Pro came out last year, I was so excited because the Mac Pro that I had before the Mac Mini, I loved it, and I kept it for I think about 5 years, and I absolutely loved that trash can more than any other trash can I've ever known. When the new one came out, the price was just so extreme. I'm not saying it's not worth it because I personally think it is, but where I wasn't working in my home office as much as I normally was actually out at all my different sites for my businesses, I just couldn't really justify the huge expense for the amount that I used it. But since COVID, and I've been locked in this room a lot of the time working, it has made it worth it again. So I went out and I got myself a brand new Mac Pro, and I've got to tell you, I love it. Now, if you guys have been following me a very, very long time, or indeed if you haven't, if you go back to my first ever YouTube video, it was me and my wife Jade unboxing a couple of generations ago Mac Pro and my Apple Cinema displays that I got with it, and I was so happy when I got that particular setup, and I made loads of videos about it. So I decided to kind of flip it back a little bit, and you guys will be seeing the B-roll right now of Jade again unboxing the new Mac Pro. So I thought I'd give you guys a little bit of a throwback there. Now, I should have turned that off. That is basically out of practice Adam on YouTube, leaving all the audio on, but I'm not making this video again. It's a hot sunny day and I need to get out there. Anyway, so I bought the Mac Pro. I also bought another QNAP TVS Thunderbolt 3 storage device, which I'm going to be doing more videos on in the future, so I'll leave that one for now. But let me talk to you guys about the spec of my Mac Pro. So I went for the 8-core Mac Pro, I went for a 2 terabyte drive, and I went for the RX 580. So I essentially went for quite a low spec, except for the one thing that you can't upgrade, which is the SSD, unless you want to put new ones in. So I thought I would do that, and then I would go out and do the upgrades at a later date when it was kind of financially viable to do so. Somehow I've made it financially viable to do so in the first 2 weeks, so I've changed some stuff up. We now have a Mac Pro with 256 gigabytes of RAM, the fast 2993, is it, megahertz RAM or gigahertz, whatever it is. And then we got, I also upgraded to the 5700 graphics card that they are now offering on their website. So I've got that plus the RX 580. And then in addition to that, I also went out and got the 16-core CPU, because I've actually got a use for the 8-core one in here that I'll talk to you guys about on another day. So those are my kind of specs. Now, for those of you that kind of see my Instagram and see what I have on each screen, on that monitor there, I always have my CCTV, and that, believe it or not, actually uses GPU acceleration. So I've got the RX 580 plugged into that, driving just that one monitor, and then the other graphics card is running all of the rest of the monitors. So it's actually a pretty good setup, and the performance of this thing is absolutely insane. The 1/4 terabyte of RAM is extremely useful with what I do. The connectivity that it's got and the new performance in the graphics cards without having to have eGPUs, and for those of you that have seen it, you can see they're now gone from under my desk, and everything just looks that much cleaner. It runs that much faster, and I'm extremely happy with it. Now, if you guys want to see like my upgrade videos where I actually went through and did the upgrades, and I've still got the CPU one to do, I'm more than happy to put them up if you're interested. I know I'm a little bit late to the Mac Pro party, so I'm not sure if you guys want to see that. If you do, hit that like button, leave a comment, and I'll try and do it for you. And I'm also going to run through a whole bunch of other stuff about my home network, my CCTV, all of my storage that I've got, what I use it for, and also why I've got a whole bunch of enterprise servers as well, and what I do with them. And if you guys again want to see that, let me know, and I'll put that up as soon as possible. But that was my big reveal of my brand new Mac Pro with a little bit of a throwback in it. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day, weekend it is now, and I will see you all in the next one, which won't be long, I promise. Peace.